Hey guys, Scotty here, and yes, we are back in Scotty's garage with the wagon, the Rust-Oleum wagon. It's back here because of COVID-19 restrictions. That's right. 2020 has been a real kick to the balls, and it is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? It's just, well, way back in March, when all this blew up in the first place, we moved the wagon here so I could work on it from home, keep the content rolling, and did pretty well. You know, we've got the floor pan done. It looks amazing. You know, did a whole bunch with the engine bay. It looks amazing. Stripped back to bare metal. You know, things were looking really good. In fact, COVID-19 was pretty much not a thing in Australia by then. You know, we'd done really well in knocking the virus over until it come crashing down in spectacular fashion. For those catching up from overseas, we've had some issues. Yes, we've had a massive outbreak here, specifically in Victoria. It's been terrible. You know, how can you give security guards a job and have it fail so spectacularly as it has? So what we had was a whole bunch of people locked in hotels. You know, they'd flown in, some of them were sick. We had security guards guarding the doors to make sure they didn't leave. You know, the people getting fed, and they just basically had to hang out and burn the virus out. Well, not only did the security guards not stop them from leaving, but they also, you know, shared cigarettes and all sorts of things with those people, and even had sex with the sick people. Don't have sex with the sick people. It should be a rule. I mean, it should have been the first rule. Well, because of this, we have had a massive outbreak. In fact, it is much bigger than the original outbreak of virus here in Victoria. And they have locked down metropolitan Melbourne. And I live outside the metropolitan area. In fact, Kian lives out the other side of metropolitan Melbourne. So for us to go in and out of Melbourne every day means we have to go through checkpoints and all the other bullshit. And while we can do it, it is such a ball ache that we decided to move the wagon back here. Yes, we'd taken it back to the Carnage Workshop. We're getting ready to do more on it, on the hoists. And yet we've had to rush it back here home so I could work on it from home. So I'm going to do at least this week at home on the wagon. And I'm going to start with that rear quarter. We're going to strip it back to bare metal. That is going to be today's job, I think. Strip it back to bare metal, and you're going to see it all here in high definition. Well, let's get to work. Let's stay away from the sick people. Let's get this wagon done. Wow. So much bog. Well, we've stripped back the quarter, and as you can see, it's not good news. The whole thing was full of bog, and it is just hammered. Wow, I really don't know what we're going to do to fix that. I did get offered a whole new quarter, new old stock, for a pretty reasonable price too, but I got no money, so yeah. Damn. Maybe I should check with him, see if he sold it yet, because that is really bad. It's got more waves than Bondi. It is just terrible. Alright, so I'll have to go down here as well, see how bad it is, and see where the rust really starts. No point grinding back this part because it is so rusty. We'll have to cut that part out, pretty much right across there. But yeah, wow. That is not good. How are we going to fix this? If you want to find all the cobwebs in your shed, just do some bog grinding. They show up real quick. Okay, so we've stripped back the rear quarter most of the way. I haven't gone all the way down here because A, it's full of bog, and B, it's full of rust. So the next step would be, I guess, to cut out this rear section. But I want to know how far our patch panel is going to extend before I cut that out. Now, there's a couple mobs that make sort of pre-formed patch panels for these things. Mostly for sedans. I'm hoping that someone's got one for a wagon because I think they're a little bit longer in this section than the sedan is. So if we can get one for a wagon, that would be awesome. And I really want it in my hand before I cut that section out, so I know exactly, whether it goes all the way out here to the wheel arch or all the way to the back here. I don't know. So when I have that in my hand, we'll cut that out and work from there. But in the meantime, I think that's as far as we can go there. I also got to work out what I'm going to do up here, because this is really, really bad. Like, really bad. It is pushed in, from factory. That's pushed in almost an inch. Like, that is a lot. And it's rough as guts. I really don't know what they did. Obviously, someone's dented it in at some point, and then someone else has hammered shit out of it, and not in a good way. They have not done good work on there. It's kind of more like they've hammered it in and just smoothed it over with bog and thought, yep, let's call it a day. And it's really ugly, and I do not like it. I don't like it, and I want to change it. So I don't have an answer for that yet, though. I don't know whether I cut this section out and, like I said, hammer it flat, which is going to be a lot of work, or whether I, cut that section out and replace it with a sheet that has been sort of just given a crease down the centre. Again, it's not going to be fun either way. It's going to be pretty nasty. So If you've got some suggestions out there, let me know, because I'm kind of flying blind here. Alrighty, well, what next? I guess there's some more rust repair to do up front. Let's move on up there.